Welcome to another episode of the Adrienne Ross Show, where sports and culture connect. The Indiana Fever went stone cold bonkers in free agency, in the offseason, acquired some key pieces. As y'all know, that's why so many Fever fans have been saying, I cannot wait for this season to begin. A lot of veterans came in. A lot of players we're excited about as Fever fans. But I'm telling you what, it comes with a certain responsibility. Being a part of the Fever is not the same as being a part of any other team. It's the Fever. There's Caitlin Clark. There's a new front office. There are fans who are willing to pay max dollars to see the Fever play, not just in Indiana, but everywhere the Fever is playing. It's called the scheduling conflict. And you can see I captured that on my t-shirts and sweatshirts and all the stuff that you can check out when you shop the Adrienne Ross Show. And the link is in the description of this video, but I digress. The Fever in a class by itself. Sophie Cunningham is one of those players who says, sign me up. I am not just willing to go to Indiana. I am built for this opportunity. An opportunity is right. She did an interview with the New York Post, and this interview reminds me of something I posted on this very channel 6 months ago. So I'm very glad to hear Sophie Cunningham say what she says in this interview. We're going to take a look at it, and I'm going to remind you of what I said, and we're going to bring it all together. The article is entitled, Sophie Cunningham Ready for Spotlight Alongside Caitlin Clark After Trade. Here's a quote, built for this. It says, for Sophie Cunningham, timing was everything. In February, the Fever acquired the veteran guard from Phoenix in a 4-team trade, also involving the Connecticut Sun and Dallas Wings. And it says here, it was exactly what Cunningham needed after she, quote, got too comfortable across 6 seasons in Phoenix. Now, check this out. Now, she tells the Post that she's equipped to thrive in the spotlight while playing alongside Fever superstar Caitlin Clark. She goes on to say that it wasn't always easy in Phoenix, but she then says, I think it's built me for something bigger and better. Obviously talking about Fever being bigger and better. I think it's built me for something bigger and better. And the stage that we're about to be on with the players that I'm about to be with, I think I'm built for this. This is exactly the mindset anybody coming to the Fever has to have. Let's scroll down. Now, she says it doesn't mean it's always going to be rainbows and butterflies. Each season has their thing. But I just feel like when you're in a good mindset and you're around really good people who have a common goal, it works. So I'm going to go back to what she says. When she says right here, I think I'm built for this. And up here, where she says, or she told the Post, she's equipped to thrive in the spotlight while playing alongside Fever superstar Caitlin Clark. Well, what's the big deal about that, Adrienne? It's a really big deal because we saw even last season that a lot of the players not ready for the spotlight, not ready for the microphone to be in their face, not ready for all the eyeballs and what comes with the eyeballs. So for Sophie Cunningham, someone who can shoot the outside shot, someone who is tough as nails, someone who will let you know, I look out for myself, I look out for my teammates, someone who can run the floor, and she wants to be there and is welcoming the spotlight and not trying to hide and don't want you to see my flaws and I'm scared about the criticism that's going to come with the eyeballs. I'm ready for the spotlight. I'm built for this. Okay, Sophie, we believe you. Welcome, Sophie Cunningham. So glad you know what you're getting into and so glad you're ready for it. And I believe you. I say, let's go, Sophie Cunningham. Now, let's go back to a video I did 6 months ago. Now, this video is entitled Fever Future. Playing with Caitlin Clark will be the best of times and the worst of times. You know, my background is in teaching English. I often subject things to literature. Charles Dickens, it was the best of times, it was the worst of times, right? You know that line? Yes. Okay. Well, playing with Caitlin Clark will be the best of times and the worst of times. I'm going to play some of this for you, stopping along the way, because it sounds a whole lot like what Sophie Cunningham realizes. Come on, somebody. It's the best of times for you. Okay, here's another best of times fact that will take place if you are in Indiana. Everywhere you play, gonna be packed. I didn't say when you're home. I said everywhere you play is going to be packed. Why? Because you're playing with Caitlin Clark. I mean, you can be on the road and you might have to move to a larger venue. Why? Because you're playing with Caitlin Clark and people want to see her play. Scheduling conflict. So if you've been playing, if you're, free agent and you've been playing and nobody's hardly been showing up, etc., you ain't got to worry about that because it's the best of times when you come to wear a Fever jersey. People will learn your name. If you play with Caitlin Clark, they're coming to your games. They're going to know your name. They're going to cheer your name. There are players like Kelsey Mitchell, scorer for sure, has done some great things. But let's be honest, a lot of people didn't know Kelsey Mitchell from anybody until Caitlin Clark came to the Fever. And when she came to the Fever, all of a sudden, people are rattling off Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hall, Katie Lou Samuelson, Melissa Smith, Tammy Beckman. I mean, on and on and on. Wallace Berger, right? People know your name. Even the yeah, no, I'm telling the truth, right? Absolutely telling the truth. And what a shame it was that there were players like Kelsey Mitchell that many of us didn't even know. Never heard the name. Not so anymore. So that's a plus. If you are in this and you want the game to grow and you want to get the feel of what it's like to be in a packed place where people are cheering for you, it's the best of times with the Indiana Fever. And the best is yet to come. You know what? You're going to be loved. You're going to be loved when you come to Indiana and you're playing with Caitlin Clark, because that's the kind of community. I know people out there tried to paint Caitlin Clark fans, Indiana Fever fans as these horrible, horrible people. And I find it interesting, if I may say so, if it's such a horrible place and all the allegations that all these fans are racist, instead of some trolls that you see out there or people on social media, but these fans are just so horrible. And, we're so scared to go to Indiana. Like, I guess Asia Wilson had some trepidation about being in Indiana. Why do these people want to come to Indiana? And I asked that question 6 months ago. That was even before people were like, sign me up, and we started seeing it actually unfold. We were hearing these rumors, oh, nobody wants to play in India. And we're like, we were starting to hear rumblings of people wanting to go to Indiana, just rumblings. But those rumblings turned out to be the real deal. And we can see the product of it even now. Why are we hearing about players who are just like, we'd like to be in Indiana, we'd like to play with Caitlin Clark? Sound like they don't believe it. All right, so the best of times, you're going to be loved, right? But Charles Dickens didn't just say it was the best of times. He then said it was the worst of times. And this is something that people who say they want to play with Caitlin Clark, they say they want to play in Indiana, it's not just the best of times. You best be aware that one might also say it was the worst of times. Why? I just told you that you're going to have packed arenas. Oh, that sounds wonderful. That sounds like the best. Well, it can be the worst. Why? Because more eyes are on you, which means more criticism is coming your way. It goes with the territory, something that some of these players in the WNBA cannot handle. And if you are one of those people, wherever your current team is right now, if you are one of those people who are saying, yeah, let's negotiate, I'd like to go play with Caitlin Clark, you just back up and you think about this, because it might be the worst of times. Because when you have eyeballs on you, you have criticism on you, and you can't start whining and complaining. And every time somebody points something out about your game, then everybody is getting down on you. Then and then everybody's racist. And all, you got to be able to deal with it, because they're gonna hold you accountable. That's what fans do. They hold you accountable. Okay, so with Indiana, with Caitlin Clark, comes more scrutiny. Are you ready for it? Can you handle it? If you can't, don't come. I'm telling you, don't come. I'll stop right there. If you can't handle it, don't come. You better think about it before you come. And what do I love about Sophie Cunningham and about this article over at the New York Post? She has already thought of this. She's already talking about this. She already gets it. And yet she says, it's time and I am here. That's much better than somebody who will say, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. I never even thought that. It was like, I think it was Lynn Dunn. Didn't she say when Caitlin Clark came in, we had no idea that she would have this kind of impact, like totally clueless. Well, no cluelessness here. Sophie says, I've thought about it. I've waited. I can't wait to get there. And now she's there. So back to the article. Sophie Cunningham ready for spotlight alongside Caitlin Clark after trade. Built for this. Again, it was the best of times. It was the worst of times, but it's really only the worst of times if you didn't weigh the cost. And she has weighed the cost. She says it was exactly what she needed after being too comfortable in Phoenix. And she tells the Post she's equipped to thrive in the spotlight while playing alongside Fever superstar Caitlin Clark. I think it's built me for something bigger and better. And the stage that we're about to be on with the players that I'm about to be with, I think I'm built for this. She's ready for that spotlight, and she's built for it. That's good news as a Fever fan. It's got to be good news for Caitlin Clark and for Coach Stephanie White. Okay, it says the generational talent who became the NCAA's all-time Division I leading scorer for men and women's basketball while at Iowa was the driving force behind exponential growth for women's college hoops and the WNBA in viewership and in, say it again, revenue. It says Clark's fame put the team under microscope. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I was talking about 6 months ago. That's what Sophie Cunningham is talking about right now. Her fame put the team under microscope, which opened the floodgates for scrutiny. I use the very word, and constant attention. The Fever had to increase security when they drafted the Hawkeyes legend. None of that is intimidating to Cunningham, who's ready to chase a championship with the new look Fever. Look at that look. There's a picture of Caitlin that's similar to that as well. She's not intimidated by it. She's not intimidated by it. And as I said 6 months ago, it is important that you make that decision. She's not bothered with it. She says, I think that's why they brought in a lot of veterans who have that experience. And I'm not saying they have the experience of hundreds of millions of followers watching your every step, but I do feel like they brought an experience of how to gel in the locker room. Here's this. When you are close knitted in the locker room and off the court and you have that chemistry, it automatically transforms to that on the court. And you don't have to worry about all the noise. And you know what I think? Noise is good when you have that many eyes. Oh my goodness. I'm going to stop here. Okay. I'm going to stop here. Noise is good. She's not running from it. She's embraced it. And the noise ceases to be problemsome noise. Instead, it's good because it means there are eyeballs. So there's your opportunity. It's what I've been saying all the time with 41 out of 44 games on national platforms, the Fever will have. Some people will complain. Others will say, this is my time to embrace it so that I shine. Because when that boat is lifted, that rising tide lifts me also. Here's an opportunity. So I get excited. I like Sophie Cunningham anyway. And I get excited when I think about her coming in with that mindset. I'm embracing the spotlight. And I'm like, let's go. I'm not intimidated by it. I want that championship. I appreciate this team. I'm ready to roll with the superstar and Caitlin Clark. Let's go, Fever. Okay. She waited. She embraced it. Now let's do it. And we are so close to this next season starting. The draft is on Monday, the 14th. I intend, God willing, to be live. I hope you'll be with me. We'll start with the pre-WNBA festivities at 7 o'clock Eastern, 6 o'clock my time, which is Central, and then the draft, and we'll go from there. Last year, the draft was quite the talk. It was quite the talk, and I understand better than previous years. So let's hang out at the Adrienne Ross Show live. I already scheduled it, and so join us for that. But yeah, Sophie Cunningham, you got the kind of spirit that this team needs. 6 months ago, I said we need people with that kind of spirit. Had no idea Sophie Cunningham would be one of those people because remember, at the All-Star game, she was trying to get Caitlin to go to Phoenix. Well, she done come over to Big Time Fever. Hey, welcome to the scheduling conflict, Sophie. All right, everybody, what do you think? Get in the comments and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. If you have, I appreciate that. And also the members of the channel. Yo, if you're not a member yet, click the join button and check it out. And if you're like, I don't see a join button, in the description of this video, as in all videos, there is the join link. Click it, see what the 4 memberships are about. Tonight, we have members live, our members weekly live. So hey, if you want to join now, you can join us for that live. I'm going to go now. I'll catch you next time, God willing. God bless you abundantly.